Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to place reinforcement in a column. For the case we have it here, there's a column over a foundation. We're trying to put the dowel bars first, stirrups, and then the main reinforcement for the column. Since we know that it's going to come out as well, we'll place them accordingly. First thing first, we'll do the sections, which will make our life easier. Two sections in two directions in order. One section here and another section with another view. Now here I don't have other elements, so it doesn't matter even if you leave those sections. The area still be okay. I always said that the section will appear here. You can go inside the section. I can just adjust this one to 120, 150 something in order to see the thing that we have it. Now, since the column is on the foundation, so we are trying to place reinforcement for the column. We have to provide the cover, so one click on the column, and we know how to provide the cover from here or from the main structural tab. Here you can go for cover and provide the cover. Now let's say the cover is okay, which will be given, or you can find it from the drawings to see exactly how much is the cover. We explained this one in the videos with reinforcement. Now let's say the cover is okay. I'm not going to go always with the cover. I assume that the cover is okay here. Now we said that you can click on the rebar or from here you can rebar directly goes into columns reinforcement. The difference between them, you select the reinforcement, it will ask you which element you want me or you want to take it as a host. So you have to again click on the column, then this screen will appear. Well, I prefer the other way, which you click on the column, then click on this rebar. Now here, make it width. If you're working with a section, you go with the current plane. By the way, you can work without section. You can work with these things. If you don't want to work with section, it's possible. And then those, you know how does it means, with a perpendicular or parallel. Now I have parallel here or this way. Now there is two parallel, I have it here. This is this way, which will be the ties, and this will be the main reinforcement. So let's place the ties first. Now in order to select ties, which is stirrup in the column, I believe you know which one I mean here, which basically goes around the column like this, which you have the main bars inside it. Now it's recommended to place this one first because later you will place the main bars inside it. So you have a column, there will be those stirrups. Now there's spacing between them. We'll discuss it if you have different. You may have two different types. There will be a lot of possibilities here. So from the list, shape empty, it's the one that we're looking for, which is stirrup type. Then we select the shape, we select the bar size that I have. Now if I were to get it, so I'm selecting the bar. Well, it's gonna come for what? Placement, whether it goes like for example, if it will be like this, it will be wrong, yes. So perpendicular to the cover, it gives me this. Look, I have to change it. Why? Because this reinforcement that I'm placing it's somehow perpendicular. It is perpendicular to the face. So if the column is like this, we're trying to place this kind of like this. This is the reinforcement trying to place. So it is perpendicular to the section that I have it. That's why I select perpendicular to the cover. So you can see it will appear. I need to be careful that this is what I'm looking for. Now the first one, you can place it, and you have here single. Now we can change this one to according to the spacing. Let's say maximum spacing I have it. If you have different spacing, you'll go for fixed number with the spacing. Let's say you have zone, which I explained in the previous videos for the reinforcement during the live session. You may have column with different stirrup zone, so you have to go with what number with spacing. So you will do one here, then another one, then another one, which we can show to you. Let's go for the maximum spacing. So we have maximum spacing, and we're gonna go for 200 millimeter between them. So if you just come over the column, you will see the stirrup will be placed in this manner. One click is enough to place the stirrup or the ties. However, in column we call tie rather than stirrup, but also it's possible to be called stirrup. So, or they call them transverse reinforcement. One click, it's gonna place according to the spacing. Now you can change this one. You can change the spacing. Remember, if you press escape, which is gonna come out this one. If you click on the reinforcement, it's gonna bring you back to editing. So you have edit constraint, which basically starting from where you have the number, the spacing, you can change it. For example, if I change this one to 100, so automatically it will add more. One click over it will bring you back here. You can change. Now edit constraint is basically related to where relating a constraint or restriction of the reinforcement according to the face of the element that we have. This is different, so it's basically give you some indication that you have restriction here. For example, like the first one starting where 48 or 4 something from the cover. This is the cover, yes. If I want to directly start from the cover, I can make this one 0, or a distance we have, it's 4.8 millimeter from the cover. I can make this one 0, it always start from the cover. This was the constraints that we have it. So whatever you change, the first one start from here. Now if the first one, which from the reinforced concrete design, let's say we know that the minimum will start from the face of the column or the face of, let's say that at here structure, whatever the face of the connection you have there, let's say 50 millimeter minimum. Now the cover is 40, I'll make sure this will be 10 millimeter. So if I hit enter, it will take, so this is always start 10 from the cover, which will be 50 from this. So indirectly, look, it tells me 50. The pink or the orange color, the orange color indication for the restriction. They're called constraint. So whatever you do, it will be constrained from here. If you change the number still, from top will be changed, but here will still remain the same. So Chris French, basically, you're forcing always to start from here. Change the number, change, for example, let's say I'm changing something. If I go for fixed number, say I'm changing this fixed number to 10. Look, this one still will be there, yes. It's not gonna change. This is still gonna have 50 millimeter from there. If I go for fixed number and spacing, let's say I have 10 with 100. This is when you was using a different zone, you will do it like this. 10 with 100. Look, still the first one start from the bottom. Now, if I want to place, this is I place 10 with 100 spacing. I want to place different zone. Yes, I'll come back to column, go back to the rebar, select the bar shape there, the still perpendicular to cover, work plane I have it, number 10. So I can click somewhere here. Look, it doesn't matter because I can give a restriction later. Link this one to this. Let's say we're gonna go for number and spacing. Let's say we have 10 of this one, this time with 200. With 200. So if I come here, you'll see the first one you're placing it. Let's say I don't know exactly where is it is. It doesn't matter. Let's say place it here. Now we'll press escape. We'll click on those because they are related to each other. Then I can go edit constraint. I can still change the things that I wanted, and I can go to edit constraint to see what's the constraint we have it. Now the constraint we have it, it's given somewhere here to the base of the column. You have it. Remember the zone, we told you there is a distance that between the zones. So you will provide this, you have it. Now you can provide this distance, you have it here. Let's say you know the zone is 1050. This basically will have this zone here. So if you change the spacing for this one, you always start with 1050, which is 1 meter and 50 centimeter or 5 centimeter. So you always start from here. The zone, because it's related to the column, is not going to change. The zone is not going to change. So in that case, the spacing here, whatever you change here, you always start from here. For the bottom one, it will be within the range it has it, and the top for the one it has it there. Now you can change the restrictions to something else, but Revit by itself, it knows that there is zones. So according to that one, you can place this one here. Press finish, and in that manner, this always would have this distance here, preserved distance. If you change the number, the spacing, the first one will still be there. Then you can provide, for example, now this is, let's say I want to change this number of this one. I'll just change it to 5, let's say, and still the bottom one will not going to change its place. It will be there, and then I can put another level. Can I copy things? Well, can be. If you click on this bar, you can copy them. That's possible, but you have to be careful when you're copying. You're not supposed to go out of the host. Sometimes happens when you're copying things. I mean, people are gonna show it to you. Instead of redoing these things, you can copy. Sure, I can even copy the reinforcement, which would be useful if you have similar columns. You do one reinforcement and you're gonna copy whole reinforcement within the column to another column. Sure, it's possible. That will make your life easier, but be careful when you're copying. You have to copy it to the correct place, not to be outside of the column. So if I want to copy, I can click on this copy. So it's going to copy the reinforcement. I have it there with everything. So look, this is, I need to take somewhere, for example from here, and I have to move it up to place it somewhere. Let's say somewhere here. Now you may get some warning while doing copy if it's out of the host. You'll get a warning that the reinforcement you place is out of the host. If they didn't get any warning, most probably will be within the host. In order to check, you have to go to 3D. So I'm going to go to 3D in order to check. Now within the 3D, you might not need the reinforcement. So you're going to go for wireframe. Within there, you can see the reinforcement. You have it inside it. Now you can make those things thicker, nicer. There's a lot of way that people can do with giving them coloring. You can give coloring to these things, which all of them are two-way with VV, visual graphic override. You can change things from here, which you have structural rebars here. Structural rebars. You can change things related to them, or from their own visual graphic. It's here visibility graphic override, which is you can change some information here, still possible for the 3D, or even you can click on the bars, but this one specific for, so you can go for the part here which is visibility, view visibility status, that you can change these properties, where to see them as a solid. Like for example, in the section can be seen, in the others cannot be seen. So let's say if I do it like this, they will be seen as a thick bar, something for sure, which I'm not intended to go with the coloring things there. Now however, I want to come back to this bar to explain something else. Let's go back to the section. Now place the bar. Yes, what about the dimension, the things that we have it. Now since we have the cover, those part here, those part, if you remember, we said that we have some information regarding to the part of the bars, which we call them bar shape. So those kind of related to the dimension of the column and the cover. If you provide the cover itself, automatically Revit will calculate the dimension. No worries about that. It will calculate it by itself. And then those are basically for the hooks that we have at there, which is automatically it's been placed there because the shape of the bar, we know it has some hook by itself at the end of it, which is 155 degree hook. Now, placing stirrup is the easiest one. Now, in order to place the main reinforcement, I can do it in the section. By the way, I could do reinforced stirrup in the other section. Still be the same thing. Still will be the same thing. I will not have any problem here. Still the same idea, whether this section or the other section. For placing the reinforcement, which is the main reinforcement, the longitudinal reinforcement here, which will be the bars that you're providing them here, those you can do them in the, look, if I do it in this plane, I can do this, and then what will happen, will tell Revit that there is something, for example, on the other side as well. Let's say we have a column. This is the column that we have it. Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 10 rebar. I have it here. So when you do it in the section, what you have to know, when you do in the section, there's two things that you have to know. If we're doing in this section, in a section which is like this, so we have to place 1, 2, 3, 4, because it will be 4. This is not in the middle. Let's say it will be 4 like this, 4 lines, because each line representing each of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. But first line has 3 number, second line, the third line, they have 2 number, the fourth line has 3 bars inside it. So you kind of imagine that you're drawing like this. You give this layer once, you give another layer, you give another layer like this, you give another layer like this. If you do it in the other section, so look here, you realize that the section, how does it work? Let's say I don't want to do it in this section here. I want to do it in the other section, which is section like this. If I do it in this section, how many layers I have to place? 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. So 3 layers I have to place. The first layer, the first layer 1, 4. The second layer 2. The third layer 4 number. This is can be done. If, however, if I want to do it on the top of that, some people say that can't we do a section like this? That will be the plan. And to try to put on the top of the foundation, yes, I can do it still. Possible, I can do that one as well. But I recommend the section. You'll realize it's much easier to place in the section. Now, let's do. I have 2 sections. Let's say this is the short, long we have it there. It will provide this longitudinal reinforcement. Let's assume that we have the drawing that I had it. So rebars, to see how we have to do it. Now, before going to the longitudinal bar, let me explain the lateral, the dowel bars that we have. Now, dowel bars starting from there goes inside the foundation, and then you have a hook there. So we're looking for something like this. We have a shape like this. So let's see if you have a shape like this. If you don't have the shape, remember you can do always, you can sketch it by yourself. We have a shape like this, which is possible. I can use it. Yes, I can use this shape here. Now, however, since we clicked on the column, when we're trying to provide this one, you have to be careful. Well, let's see parallel to the work plane first, because I want to place it more like this. Look what will happen. If you can see the shape, it's trying to place it in the whole column for me is I don't want this one. Even here, I don't want like this. So what we do, you have to place it, or the best way is for sketching. You can still do this one, but you have to edit it, bring it down, give a restriction to somewhere that you want. Okay, let's say this is the case I have it, yes? I want to do this one. Let's change the bar size. First thing, you can change it to 22. Now, if you check the dimension here, see it goes for the long side of it, which is 2 meters something. I can change this one. Let's say I have the, you remember we said the dowel bars, we know them will be given to us something like this. Let's say I know this dimension here, it's 2 meter. This is 2 meter. And let's say this one I know it is 30 centimeter. So I can change those two here. I can change those two here. Then I can place it in the column. Then I can bring it down. So let's do this one to see what will happen. I'm still not clicking. I'll change here. So I'll change this one to, this is 200. And then I'll change this one to, say, 30. Sorry, this is a bit small. This is 300 with 2000 here. With 2000 here. So let's see what happens. Well, it didn't accept me, so I'll place it. Then I'll change the edit. So I just place the bar first, press escape. Then I'm going to change edit the dimension. This way I can manage it. So I'll change this one. Let's see. Change this one to 200. This one to 30. Oh, here it cannot resolve the bar for me. So in that case, I'll go for that. Well, can this bar here from here? I can still do it in this manner, but I prefer with the dimension to give it. If it does not accept in this way, if you give this warning, for example, I can bring this one down. We have a lot of those grips. I can manage it. So let's say I can do this bars within here. I don't prefer this way because I prefer to have some values here. I mean the values I'm trying to input, but it will not accept it. Let's say I'm going for 300. It's okay, it accepts this time. Or if the grips didn't accept it, so you can change with the grips, then accept this one. So here we have this bar. I can change this one to see how does it react. So let's say I'll change this one to 2000. I can press apply to see. Yes, it accepts this time. I don't know what was the problem with it. So kind of this is what we placed here. If this is too much, we know that if this is too, I can bring back this one to 1 meter, which will be more convenient for this example. We already know this dimension. Now, however, when we place this one, we only placed 1. Now, we can change this one, the direction of it, with flip, with the space bar. It can flip it to different direction. Now, why we have to know this one? I mean, I'm just, look, the bar is selected. Pressing the space bar, it's gonna shift the way it's standing. Sometimes you have those gonna go away out of the, I mean not inside, it in this way to go to the other direction, yes, but here it does not change. So it's not something that you can do it with this one. What will happen? You have to change the way that the bar is oriented. So the space bar, it can orient it like this. Now I can bring this one to the face of the, for example, column. I have it there. So I will grip it somewhere to the face of the, no, it's gonna grip it there because this is the place. Now, how many of this bar I have it? So let's talk about this one. Let's say this is the column. I have it in this way. I'm looking at it. Since we have, let's say we have 3 bars here, So which one I provided? I provided this guy here. Look, this is what I drew. A different color. I drew this guy here. Now I might have different bars, so I have to provide all the bars, because we remember we said that the dowel bar for all the bars we have it. So I have a bar here, another bar here. We might have, for example, one here, one here, one here, one here. Now we drew only one of them, one bar, which is the red one. So what can I do? The single here, I'll change it to 3. Change it to 3. It will provide 3 bars like this within the column that we have it there. Now if it is not within the column, we have to see it from the other section. Sometimes it will go out of the host. You have to be careful with these things in order to make sure it will be within the column. Why? Because it goes between the column and the foundation. So Revit sometimes will take the foundation at the host. It may provide it within the foundation, not within the column. So here I'll change the numbers here. I'll change this fixed number, which for 3 number. Now this is here. I can copy this one, bring it here on the other one as well, then change the numbers to 2, to 2, to 3. This is what we have. We can do it. So let's see, copy this one, take it from somewhere. So I'll bring it here. Now this is 3 of them. I will press to change it, for example, the view. Then I can move one, or just hover the mouse over it, will be moved directly. Will go and take it to the edge of the column that you have it. Will snap to the location for it. By itself will snap to the, because constraint placement is checked here. It will snap it to the bars. Again, this is 3 we have it. Now I might have the middle ones. For the middle one, if I copy it, we have to know the exact location, so we have to give some spacing between them, which we call constraint. I can do that one as well. So I copy, I can take it from here with a distance. For example, I know the distance between them, let's say it's 160, whatever it is, which we know it, 160. It will copy it in this direction. Then I'll copy the other one. Same procedure. Now you might say, where do I know the distance? Well, these things from the plans can be seen, because you have this thing between them, and you already will learn from the reinforced concrete design courses. Now, however, the middle one, I have to change the numbers. They are not 3, yes? Those are not 3, those are 2. So the first one is selected, this one. I will just change the number here to 2. Why? Because we have 2 of that one. Click outside. Now to click on this one as well, because this is 3, I'll change this one to 2. Now let's clear the board. If I want to say this one, the best place to go is the 3D or the other section. Now I can go to the other section, see if those bars are within the column. Yes, they are within the column. You can see it from here. They are within the column. This is the section line. Don't worry about this one. You can go to 3D in order to see the things much nicer. You can see the whole bar. I have it here. Now from here, even I can click on these 2. Let's see, if I press spacebar, do they change to this direction here? Unfortunately, it will not allow me to change the direction of it. For example, let's see, but it's only changing out of a plane. What I was looking for, if I could have these bars to come in this manner, the one in the middle to come in this way, I can manage it, but I have to go to the other section to change this direction here. So it's possible if I go to the normal. This is the top now. I'll bring it down. Okay, I can go back to other section, which is section 1.1, in order to change bars Now this one, it's a bit, we need a special section here to change that one. In this section 2 to see if I can change the direction of this one. The only thing that's giving it to me is out of the section, out of the column. Look, the warning will give it if it goes out of the column. In order to do, if you don't want to place those two in this manner, let's say that you want to go to the other way, you have to delete those two. I mean, those are, we have to draw them in the other section specifically to go with the other direction. Try to change it here, but it will not come to the section that I have it. So the only way to do it, we can go to the other section and do it, which it doesn't matter, because the idea here, providing this on the other way, still will be similar. Now when you're shifting, you have to be careful. Sometimes their place will change. For example, look at here, you have some problem with their location. You have to be careful when you're doing them. For example, some of them will come up over the other one, so in that case, or we can see it from here, if the dimension is not exactly the same thing, you can provide it. For example, here I can change this back to 1000, and I can change back apply. I can change this back to the, for example, I have 300, which is 30 centimeter for the hook. So you can manage those things. If they didn't come exactly or they changed it, you can always click on them and then change their dimension back. Or you can provide a constraint. Let's do provide constraint to see how this will work. If you click on the constraint, so and this is in the other section, so we have to go to the other section, sorry, section that we drawing, section 1. I can click on it and we have the constraints here. Constraints will put us a distance which is already given here. It's the let's see if the section is already given here. Yes, it's already by itself is snapping to the bars instead. In that case, no need for any other restriction here. Let's say you have the dowel bars. Yes, you have the dowel bars. We say that in the 3D view we can check those bars. Those that we have them here, we have them. Now you can do the main reinforcement. The main reinforcement is much, it's similar to dowel bars, which from same thing you will do it in this, gonna work with it, doesn't matter. From here, let's manage all of this. So I can select, pressing Control to make all of them similar. Let's make it all of them. Now this those two, they were out. I'm gonna click this and this one. I'll change their orientation. Earnings, you'll get them from we'll provide different things for them. We'll make this one 300, the other direction 1200. Okay. In order not, so if you get anything warning which tells out of the host, you know that something went wrong. Now we have this. If you're providing the main reinforcement, much easier than the double bars. I just click on the column. So let's say if you cannot click on the columns here, you can press tab. It will go between the selection, but normally from the edge you can select the column. Now here you'll go for the, you have it here. You have the straight bar here. Now when you press the straight bar, look, it will directly come within the column, or you can draw it by yourself, doesn't matter. So you place one, it's the same man as the dowel bar, the same man as the dowel bar. We have how many layers, how many do we have it? So I can place one here. I can first change this one even to fixed number 3. The bar size is okay, it's here. I'm drawing parallel to the work plane. This is when I will place it here. Now 3 placed, I can put another 3 on the edge of this, so you realize that I need to change the location of these things, which happens while working. Now I need to provide 2 in the middle. Let's say I have to 2. Now in order to draw this one, later I can provide the distance between them or move it according to the spacing we have it. So let's say 1 here and 1. Now I placed all of them. This is number, this is 2 number, this is 2 number. Now spacing between them again, you can, let's provide the spacing here. If I come to annotate here, I can provide the spacing between those bars to see exactly how much we have it. So here you can move those according to the spacing in order to fix them the way they are. Say we have 2 of them here. Now we change this one, let's say 150. I will move the bar. For example, I'll change this one to 100. Let's say click on this one, on this bar here. Then I can change this one to, let's say 150. Then it will move the bar according to location we have it. So this way it's easy to select the things. Same thing here for those bar between them. I mean those are, I can to the bar it has here, or with the dimension, whichever you prefer. I think the dimension is much easier for the student to manage the things that we have it, in order to give exact dimension of the things that you have it here. For example, annotate or put the aligned. Even from the face, I can start from the face to this, to the bar, another bar. We'll select the all bars that we have it, and then you can fix the dimension that you have it. For example, I have these dimensions here. Then you will click on the bar first, then the dimensions will be active. Then you can change this one. Let's say I want to start this one with 50, or what the location of it exactly, what is it. Now it give you a warning, dimension segment to this value. The problem is what? Because of the restriction we have it there. So if something happen, it will tell you that you cannot change the location of this one because it's already at the edge. So in this manner, you know exactly the problem that you have it. Where is it? Well, I'm not going to go into detail of this one. You can change this one, all of them to be similar with the what? With the bars that you're providing from the top. You can have even spacing from here. Because why? Double bars with bar, they're exactly the same. They're continuation of each other, so they will be. Now you realize that there will be overlap. So if you provide them together, you will not see this overlap. You will see as a dark something like this if they come exactly close to each other. So let's do this one. Let me just do it here. Yes. Now providing the dimension from the column to this bar, to the other bar, to the other bar, and here to the face of the column. Those are some dimension. I have it here. From the top, we'll provide the same thing from the bars from the face. Then we'll make it similar. So let's have here to here as well. This is 60. Add one more from the face to this bar, which is 61. Now those 261 we'll try to similar at the bottom. So pressing escape. One of them already 61. This one 83. Now clicking on the bar, the dimension. So I want this bar. Then those change. I can make this. It will move to its location. Now let's say this is 150. I'll do it exactly the same as the top, and I will change this one to 150. And exactly I get the double bars that we have it there. So this is how you can manage the spacing if you know exactly overlapping. Now again, I have another thing that we're supposed to do. From here, bar supposed to go up. Yes. So let's say we have the dimension. You can leave those dimensioning for the end to do it. Now those are supposed to go up the foundation. We already know that it's supposed to go up. Yes, so it has to go somewhere up, because we already know that the columns, let's give the dimension, the reinforcement above, so this dimension here that we have it, we know from the plans that will be 1 meter, 2 meter, whatever, supposed to go up of the foundation. Now in order to make this one easier, I can play with the dimension of the bar. Or instead of doing it in this manner, I can play with the dimension of the bar here, from here. Now the normal bar we have it, which is without, it's 2920. Yes, it's basically here. So you add the cover, which is 40, and then 1 meter, so it's basically 1040. Will add it to this one, 1040 to this one. So if I add 1040 to this one, it's going to be 4020 if I'm not wrong. So I can change this one to 4020 and press apply. Now we add it to the bottom, unfortunately, so I have to move this one. Let's delete the stirrups here. Now we went to this way, so I can move this one back to its position, which is the top, in order for the bar to go up, This could be done while doing it. So let's say that you don't like to this editing here, you could, while placing this bar, which is 3 number, you can provide directly the length of it, and you can place it in that manner. By the way, you can still move, can be moved. Let's say you want to work more precisely, use even work move command. For example, this is move command. I can precisely bring it to the location that I want. Let's move. Precisely wherever you want to move it, you can just bring it to the location it is. This is possible to be the bars or the dimension you have. Now there is other ways to do it. I'm not saying there is not. People are trying to draw a line here, then extend this one to the line, which will be easier. Now in order to do this one, there is a part here, we call it detail line. Now detail line is just a line. We will draw it in order for ourselves. For example, I'm going to draw a line from here, like this line is just an indication for myself. Let's say over here I have 1000. I'll go there, and then I will draw another line. Let's say I'll draw another line. Sorry. Let's draw another line. This line I have it here, which is I can draw another line here. Now this line, we call it detail line. The idea of this detail line, it's nothing. It's just only for me to snap those directly to the top of it. So I can simply grab this one, grab the point, and bring it till we'll snap to this in here, and I will drop it there. This way I can make sure all of them will come exactly to the line, and which is 1 meter. 1 meter. This is fine. They are not diamond. They are nothing. I can make sure that bars, all of them, are the same level. I didn't go for this too much detailing, but it's possible also to be done. So to have an idea that you can manage these in a different manner. If you go to 3D view, you'll be able to see all of the reinforcement that you have it within the column. So you can make those sure the columns are similar. Now we have these two bars here. I'm supposed to manage them as well. And those two bars, look at them, they are high. In the 3D, so I can manage those and bring them down to the same level of the others. Now I cannot see it from here the same level. Again, a host, we have section. You see this is so I can go to the section within the manage this one. Easy, I have it there. I can see it from the section. In that case, we have now remember, if anything you'll see view, you can go back to the section and can manage them. Now, those are go back to the section and try to manage them easily there. Now the 3D thick, some have to select the bar, and from the view you can make sure 3D you can see them as a solid that will be thick, and then you can even select those bars that you have it here. Some select bar, we have it here in the control. Then I can also change their visibility to be seen as bold bar. Now you can see the bars here. You have it. Go for coloring to change it as is possible still. I mean, there are view, which I'm not intended to go with the coloring. It's nice to know what if you want to provide some detailing for people. It can be, but we said that the information that we have will be enough within the sections. Those are the detailing I have it here. If I go this one for fine, I can see the bars as thick as well here. You can see them this way. Those are the bars we have it. You can make it realistic if the coloring will appear as well within the bars that they have it there. Or you can go for the other sections to see whatever or the things that you have it here. Remember, I'm not doing here in full accurate because you have to be careful when you change location. Things gonna change, you have to bring it back to their location. So while doing reinforcement, you have to pay attention to the detailing that you're doing. As I told you before, that Revit making this possible to be versatile, to be comprehensive, so that you can manage whatever you want to do. Now if, for example, you want to use this, there are third parties that you can always use in order to make your reinforcement. As also, but you have the drawings. The easiest way to manage these things, the easiest way to manage these lines, is the dimension. The annotate is the easiest one that you can use it in order to manage. If you don't like the automatic one, you can always go for the sketch one. So the sketching, which you will draw it by yourself, it might be easier. If I go for sketch, you remember that you start from somewhere. This is the host. We select the host. Then we start drawing the line. Let's start drawing the line from here and directly give the length of it. For example, the length is 4020. That's it. 4020. Remember, when you're drawing, you only draw one. Oh, this is a bit high. 4020. Let's bring it down to bring it back. Okay, same level of it. Now this is, you draw it here, you press, then this is, remember, only one. What we said that you have to, when you draw sketching, remember this one, you click on it, change the numbering to fixed or whatever you have it. There's 2 number, let's say that 2 number. It is it. So you realize that I can do this one with the sketching. It can be easier for some purposes, or sometimes you go for the automatic one to use the options that are available in Revit. I have sense for you that you can recommend always sketching if you have difficulties with placing the things. Sketching for some part of the columns, the dowel bar will be easier for the dowel bars. For the bar signal that goes up, sketching might be easier, or you can play with the dimensions to make sure that it goes above the columns, which we have it there. Now this is enough for the column. By the way, there's something I wanted to show to you on the plane as well. Here on the plane, do the things that you have it here. You can do the this like the dowel bars, because they'll not go over each other exactly. It will be like this. This is level 1. In the level 2, you'll see something which we have. You can also place reinforcement here. If you realize that, or you might think that this is, for example, we're in a level 2, you can still click on the column. Look, you can see the stirrup within the column. We have it here, the rebar. Now why we cannot see rebar here? Why we cannot see the rebar here? Because within the view of it, in the plan is unticked. So for example, in the structural plan level 2, if I place it here, I'll be able to see the bars within the plans. By default, it's only be seen in the section. You can play with those in order to see them in the plan as well. This is the column we have it. Now you can place another tie here as well. It's possible. So if you click on the column, let me show you this one. This is not a section. This is on the plan. Click on the bar. Still be able to put reinforcement here, but you have to change this one to plane. So near cover, which is basic manner. So perpendicular to the cover, can provide the bars. Look in the way that you have it here to cover. This is also possible to do. So here we can still place those bars if I want to. I can put the reinforcement. Have different another stirrup that we may have it. Now to provide this stirrup, let's say this one I can change according to the direction we have it. Providing this stirrup here, parallel plane, on the bar size, let's change it to 10. Now within the plane, it will be a bit hard, but still can make it. It's recommended for the sketch here to sketch this one within. Like for example, if I provide it here, it directly goes around if I sketch it, I can see with myself. Let's say that I have another one goes, yes, I can use sketching to do this one, that's also possible. Or what can we do if you don't like to work with this sketching here? You still can use the sections. Oh, that's supposed to be to here. You can bring it the second you have to draw another layer of the stirrup, which sometimes can appear in the constraints. If they don't appear, constraints only give this dimension here. Sometimes will provide you, because it's the reinforcement there, so sometimes you have to do it manually, sketching the one in the middle, which I can show another video, or I'll just make you responsible for only one tie, and the two ties which need a sketching. You have to sketch it, and then you have to duplicate it with a spacing or numbering, whatever it is. Reinforcement in the column. So the highlight here is what the dowel bars we have it. You already know the height of them, how much can come out of the foundation, so you can draw it. Remember, this dowel bars will place it after placing the foundation reinforcement, because those bars, the location will be over the reinforcement of the foundation. So you have the foundation, and those are placing over the reinforcement of the foundation. Then you have the stirrups, which is zones, or you can just do it once. And the main bars, we said that there is different sketch. You have to be careful with the height of them. You have to come out, stop here, due to the practical point of view that you always have to take the bars. Second columns, when you do it from there will be linked here for the column, and also there is overlapping for and the main column bars we have it. Tried using different ways to do it. Which one you prefer, find your own way. The idea is what to place them, and within the sections to have them nicely. Then when we provide those detailing, we will put dimensions here, which will be some videos about dimensioning, detailing, in order to provide those for people to know it, which we'll come back to them later. Thanks for watching.